कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुनातीरावनचारी यमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radhe Jaya Gora Nitai Jaya Gora Nitai Gora Nitai Jaya Gora Nitai Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Harinam Sankirtan ki, Granthra Śrīmad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Canto 10, Chapter 43, text number 23 till 30. So I will chant the first 6 verses and text number 30 we will recite together. Only translation. Okay. I will read only translation. Thank you. These 2 boys, the people said, these 2 boys are certainly expansions of the Supreme Lord Narayana who have descended to this world in the home of Vasudeva. This one Krishna took birth from Mother Devaki and was brought to Gokula, where he was remained concealed all this time, growing up in the house of King Nanda. He made Putana and the whirlwind demon meet with death, pulled down the twin Arjuna trees, and killed Sankhachuda, Keshi, Dhenuka, and similar demons. He saved the cows and the cowards from a forest fire and subdued the serpent Kaliya. He removed Lord Indra's false pride by holding up the best of the mountains with one hand from an entire week, thus protecting the inhabitants of Gokul from the rain, wind, and hail. The gopis overcame all kind of distress and experienced great happiness by seeing his face, which is always cheerful, with smiling glances and ever free of fatigue. It is said that under his full protection, the Yadu dynasty will become extremely famous and attain wealth, glory, and power. So now we chant the verse, text number 30. Ayam cāsyāgrajaḥ śrī-man. Ayam cāsyāgrajaḥ śrī-man. Rama kamala-locanah, Rama kamala-locanah, pralambo nihato yena, pralambo nihato yena, vatsako ye bakādayaḥ, vatsako ye bakādayaḥ, ayam cāsyāgrajaḥ śrīmān, Rama kamala-locanah, pralambo nihato yena, vatsako ye bakādayaḥ, ayam cāsyāgrajaḥ śrīmān, Rama kamala-locanah, pralambo nihato yena, vatsako ye bakādayaḥ, ayam cāsyāgrajaḥ śrīmān, bakādayaḥ, ayam cāsyāgrajaḥ śrīmān, Rama kamala-locanah, Mataji's word by word meaning. Ayam, this, cha, and, asya, his, agra-jaḥ, elder brother, śrī-man, the possessor of all opulences, rāmaḥ, Lord Balarāma, kamala-locanaḥ, the lotus-eyed, pralambaḥ, the demon Pralamba, nihataḥ, killed, yena, by whom, vatsakaḥ, Vatsāsura, who, Baka, Bakāsura, ādayaḥ, and others. Translation and purport by the followers of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This lotus-eyed elder brother of his, Lord Balarāma, is the proprietor of all transcendental opulences. He has killed Pralamba, Vatsaka, Baka and other demons. Please repeat. This lotus-eyed elder brother of his, Lord Balarāma, is the proprietor of all transcendental opulences. He has killed Pralamba, Vatsaka, Baka and other demons. In fact, two of the demons mentioned here were killed by Krishna, not Balarāma. The reasons for the mistake is that as news of Krishna's exploits spread among ordinary people, the facts became somewhat muddled. The same tendency can be observed in modern newspaper. Om ajnana-timirandasya jnananjana-shalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai śrī-gurave namah. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So we are reading 10th canto since almost a year now. Not audible? Yeah. So the chapter here is Krishna kills the elephant Kolyapida. So we heard the whole pastime about it, and now the next stage is coming where Krishna will enter the wrestling arena. But in between, the Brajvasis or the Mathuravasis who are assembled there are glorifying the Lord, remembering all his pastimes performed in Sri Vrindavan Dham. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that his birth and activities are transcendental, and similarly the loving reciprocation between Krishna and his devotees are also transcendental. And sometimes we might think that how can somebody behave in animosity with Krishna? How they are acting like demons with the Lord, who is the Supreme Personality? Do they don't have common sense to understand this? That they should not be behaving like this? But the demons who behave demoniacally towards Krishna, that is also transcendental. This is how we are understanding from this 10th canto that though they are behaving demoniacally, ultimately it is Krishna's plan, Krishna's desire. And we will see how all these demons, what they were in previous life. We'll try to read that and try to understand how Lord, to give pleasure to his devotees, to increase the surrender of his devotees, how he performs these various wonderful pastimes so that it becomes more and more easier for us devotees to remember the Lord. Because in this materialistic turmoil we are living in, the tribulations we face every day, we face challenges wherein we keep forgetting Krishna's lotus feet, we keep forgetting the fortune we have got by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we keep forgetting that we are in Sri Vrindavan Dham, in Sri Krishna Balarāma Mandir. It is not rare, it is rarest of the opportunity given to all of us who are trying to focus and refocus and increasing that focus on becoming more and more Krishna conscious. So, the behavior of demons is also transcendental. So we will hear about the previous birth of these fortunate demons or the living entities by whose inauspicious work they had got this chance to become Krishna's enemy. So even to become Krishna's enemy is glorious. It is not to be condemned. Krishna's enemy, because Krishna chose them to be participating with him, like we hear, who can fight with Krishna? Like Hiranyaks could do, but they were Jai Vijay, they were not ordinary personalities. So Krishna chooses them, like Arjuna. Arjuna was also showing bewilderment. He was acting as if he doesn't understand that he is a spirit soul. He was acting on bodily platform, but it doesn't mean that he don't understand that fact. So it is just for us to relish more and more about Krishna's wonderful potencies and opulences. These innumerable pastimes are performed by the Lord. So like here we see Putana, as the devotees are discussing, the first demon that comes is Putana. So Putana was Bali Maharaj's daughter in her previous birth. So when Vamandev came to ask for the benediction of 3 steps, she was right there. She was very much attracted. Her name was Ratnamala. She was very much attracted looking the beauty of Vamandev, and she developed a desire that if I get a child, I would like to feed milk to the child. That was her desire when she Vamandev. And as the pastime progresses, she saw that he cheated Bali Maharaj. Vamandev cheated Bali Maharaj, and she was angered. And in that anger, she thought that I will feed her milk, but now with poison. So her desire got changed, but still Krishna, as we all know, is causelessly merciful. Man proposes, God disposes. So whatever we propose to Krishna, he disposes. So in the next birth, Putana got this opportunity to be in Kansa's army, and then Kansa, we know this, Kansa instructed her to go and kill Krishna in Gokul, and she comes, she took a beautiful form and she fed Krishna milk smeared with poison, and then Krishna delivered her. So this was about Putana. Then there are more. Then there is Saktásura. Saktásura he was Hiranyaksha's son in previous birth. So one day he went to the Lomas Muni's ashram, and he was like having a very strong, beautiful body. He was trying to demonstrate his power in the ashram, disturbing all the trees, breaking them down. And Lomas Muni got a little angry with him, and he cursed him, and he said, "Hey, evil-minded one, become without a body." So by the power of his curse, his gross body was taken away. So now he just was left with the subtle body. So in this fallen condition, this Asura fell at the feet of the Muni, and he prayed to get back the body. And Lomas Muni was mercifully convinced, and then he says that your body will remain as wind till the Chakshusha Manvantar, and after that, in the Vaivashvat Manvantar will come, and at the end of 20th Dwapar Yuga, by the touch of the feet of Bhagavan Shri Krishna, you will be liberated. So these all personalities, they have some wonderful past where they got cursed and blessing simultaneously. And so they could get this opportunity to be in contact with the Lord, and Krishna liberated them from this material world. Trinavrit. So there are many demons mentioned in the 6-7 per shlokas, so we will try to discuss few of them. Trinavrit, in his previous life, he was the king of Pandu Desh. He had sublime faith in Shri Vishnu, and for the pleasure of Vishnu, he performed yagna, he was giving charity, etc. One time he was taking bath on the bank of Narmada with his 1,000 wives, and at that time Durvasa Muni comes there. And he didn't pay attention to Durvasa Muni, and we all know Durvasa Muni. What happens if you don't pay attention to him? So for this reason, Durvasa Muni cursed him to become a demon. So when the king begged forgiveness, Durvasa said, "O king, by the touch of Bhagavan Shri Krishna's body, you will achieve liberation." So Trinavrat appeared in the form of a whirlwind, where he embraced Lord Krishna, and Krishna mercifully became heavy in his weight, and he gave up his body. But he ascended to Krishna's abode. That was his ultimate destination. So with every curse comes the blessing. So if we analyze this for us, then with every tribulation that we face in our life, if we accept it as the mercy of the Lord, if we accept it as some remedial measure for us, then we can become more and more Krishna conscious. And this is the only way that in the end of our life, the way we are hearing this, we will also be embraced by the Lord, we will be able to focus on Krishna's lotus feet. So none of them are criticizing the arrangement. As soon as they are cursed, forgiveness. So if somebody is cursing, go and beg forgiveness. This is the lesson coming here. Not that we try to justify that no, I have done no wrong. That is not Krishna consciousness. That is on bodily platform. So Prabhupada keeps hammering this point. We are not this body, we are a spirit soul. We are not this body, but It's difficult to be consciously remembering this fact throughout the day, throughout all the activities we perform, because somehow we have these mundane traits embedded in us where we are looking for some special attention, special care, something where we get appreciation, kind of. So it's not bad if our mood is to serve Krishna and we are focusing still that whatever we are doing is to surrender more and more to Krishna, then still it is fine. Then there are more Yamlarjun. So we know they were Nalakuvar and Manigriva, and they were also once they were enjoying in heaven at Nandanavan, naked with some apsaras in the Mandakini river, and suddenly Narada appears. So again Narada comes, he gives them curse that they become tree in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj, and there they have to live 100 celestial years, right? 100 celestial years, which is like 36,000 earthly years. And there Krishna will come and deliver them. And then we know the Damodar Lila pastime, Krishna pulled the Ukhala, and pulling the Ukhala, he comes near the Yamlarjun, these twin trees, and both the trees fall down, and Nalguvar and Manigri were delivered. And then in the heaven they would not be attracted to sense enjoyment, and even in heaven they would practice pure bhakti, and from heaven they would enter Golok Dham. This was the benediction for them. And in Goloka they now serve as Madhukanta and Snigdha Kanta, and their duty is describing Krishna Katha all the time. See how much mercy Krishna is giving. How much mercy. This is, when we hear the word causeless mercy, these are all examples like that. And every moment Krishna is delivering that. It's not that it is only for these few selected souls that this privilege is given of special mercy. If we are present to the fact of the things that are happening around us, we will also feel the same. That every moment Krishna is causelessly kind on us, causelessly merciful on us, so we are able to chant His name, so we are able to attend this program, wonderful Srila Prabhupada's given program of Mangalarti, Guru Puja, with wonderful Vaishnavas in Vrindavan Dham, reading Srimad Bhagavatam. This is causeless mercy. What do we want more than this? This is enough and more to make us Krishna conscious. But if we are grateful every moment to the Lord that, thank you Krishna, thank you Srila Prabhupada, that you have given us this opportunity to be in this wonderful association of devotees. And there are other options which may also choose. If we are not grateful, then we are grateful to Maya. Then we have all other dramas, as we know. But better to discuss the dramas Krishna did than anything else. So there are more demons described here. Vatsāsura. So he was the son of Daitya Mura named Pramila. This very famous great demon was victorious in the battle with the demigods. So one day he went to the ashram of Vasishtha Muni, and he saw the wish-fulfilling cow, Nandini, there, and he wanted it. And so he took a form of a Brahmana, and he asked to Vasishtha Muni that please give this cow to me. But the cow became furious at this. She could identify that he has changed his form, and she cursed him now. Okay, you become a calf. So, but then, as we are hearing now, with every curse follows the blessing. Actually, the whole purpose of curse coming from any situation is blessing to follow, some spiritual benefit to follow. It's only on us how we see it, how we accept it, how we acknowledge it. And then he became repentful. So Nandini, having said this, Mura, son, then became a great calf, yes. He then circumambulated Vasishtha Muni and this cow, and offering respect said, please protect me. Please protect me. This is very important. Every day to chant this, please protect me, please protect me. All of them has done this. As soon as they got cursed, please protect me, please forgive me, please forgive me. And as soon as, and Nandini said, O great demon, at the end of Dwapara Yuga, when you will mingle with Krishna's calf, you will then attain liberation. So from this curse and blessings, the Asura was liberated. So it goes on. Then there is Bakāsura, Agasura, many demons described, Dhenukāsura, more. Kalyanag is a long explanation. Sankhachuda. Sankhachuda, in his previous life, he was Krishna's friend in Golok Dham. His name was Sridhama. He was the most confidential servant of Krishna. So one time, Sri Krishna was enjoying in Kunja with Virja. And Sridhama was watching at the entrance and he stopped Srimati Radhika. And then Radhika was not happy with that and she cursed him now. So Sri Radha became angry and she left that place and Sridham was cursed. And it's a long story, but then Sridhama got this body of Sankhachuda and then Sankhachuda was delivered also. Then Pralambasura was the son of Gandharva Huhu in his previous birth. His name was Vijay. And when he was traveling to various tirthas chanting the glories of Bhagwan Vishnu, he came to Chaitra Rathvan in heaven. He had a veena in his hands. He took some flowers. Then something astonishing happened. His form transformed from a Gandharvada to a demon. This is because previously Kubera has cursed that any demigod or a man who picks flower from there would suddenly become a demon. So he didn't knew that. Because of this aparad. And when he took shelter of Kubera, Kubera was satisfied and blessed him, saying, "You are Bhagwan Vishnu's devotee and a peaceful great soul. Do not lament. At the end of Dwapar Yuga in Bhandirvana, Baldev will liberate you." Thus the Gandharva Vijay was liberated from his demon birth by the mercy of Baldevji. So there are many names given here. Then Vyomasura, Arishtasura, Keshi. So yeah, this is the description, and from now the last sloka which we read today, 30th. In fact, the two demons mentioned here were killed by Krishna, not Balarāma. The reason for the mistake is that as news of Krishna exploits spread among ordinary people, the fact becomes somewhat muddled. The same tendency can be observed in the modern newspaper. So here we can see that it is very, very important to present the philosophy as it is. Preacher should be very careful while talking on the subject matter connected with the scriptures. This integrity to the teachings is vital for the expansion of this movement for the next 10,000 years. So, as we see, the facts are getting diluted, and if we are not expert in boiling the milk, it may happen that only water remains. So, it is very, very important to have this integrity in the leadership of all those who are trying to serve Srila Prabhupada. Integrity is like wholeness. We cannot change anything. It has to be presented as it is. So Srila Prabhupada titled Bhagavad Gita as it is. So when a leader does not have different set of rules for different people, or he is not hypocritical who follows his own advice, I mean, what we speak, we should walk the talk. That is what integrity means. We cannot have one rule for him and one rule for him. That is not integrity. That means we have duplicity, hypocrisy in our behavior. So this is very, very important quality which we all should try to inculcate, that we maintain our integrity to the society, and this way, just by trying to be honest and faithful, we can hold the spiritual interest. Otherwise, we might think that we are holding the spiritual interest, but if the integrity is not there, it will be like shrameva hi kevalam. So, integrity in the leadership is very, very important, and the leadership must keep reassessing his own character and work at improving itself. Not that it is a one-time exercise, we need lot of help, and we are all leader in our own space. So, we should focus on this aspect that we don't deviate or dilute any of the things which we are receiving. Otherwise, this is like inviting tribulations, inviting challenges. And then we might feel after 20, 30, 40 years of practicing Krishna consciousness that is the process working? But the challenge is that we are lacking that integrity. So if we continue to be having this integrity with to Srila Prabhupada, then we will see a lot of progress and growth in our services and glories of Srila Prabhupada, glories of Lord Chaitanya in the whole world. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted that this movement should be spreaded in every town and village. So a huge or an enormous amount of leaders are required to spread this. So we cannot be assuming that role of humility that I am very small, what can I do? As we know, when Srila Prabhupada started, Prabhuji can tell it better. In the beginning days, Prabhupada trained them to be leaders and they were opening centers, but the biggest asset they had was their determination, dedication to the words of Srila Prabhupada. Whatever Prabhupada would say was the final thing for them. There was no questions of ifs and buts in that. They were totally surrendered to it. So that was one of the very important quality they showed, and this is how we see. Wherever Prabhupada sent his disciple, Krishna consciousness was just flourishing. So this is another thing we see, that having faith in the words of authority, but somehow our mind convinces us that we have some better idea. No problem, we can have a better idea, but that should be in a humble mood, should be submitted to the authority, and we should leave it to them. We cannot stick to it that no, he's wrong. That rebellious mood. We might change the situation, but we are losing our Krishna consciousness. That mood of passion to convert things in our own pace, we lose our Krishna consciousness. That is at stake. We might make things better externally, but then internally, we are not focusing on the Lord. We are not doing it for the pleasure of Guru, Krishna and the authority assigned to us. Then again there is a risk that we might be off track. So if we continue doing things sincerely and seriously, Krishna arranges, for example, if I have my son, I am his authority, Krishna will arrange a better person for him when he grows. If I am not doing proper justice to his Krishna consciousness life, but still if he continues to serve the way I say, Krishna will arrange a better person. We should have that faith in Krishna. We cannot try to rebel the situation and change things, because in that urge of changing, we lose our consciousness. So it's a decision to be taken. What are we trying to be achieving and what we are losing in that. So, as we heard also today, Lord Chaitanya came to give benedictions to everyone, and it's a good fortune of all of us that we are connected to this Srila Prabhupada society, Srila Prabhupada movement, and having lot of engagement, lot of service, which is very difficult to get. So we should be appreciative of that fact and continue. That is what is required. that whatever is the situation, we should just continue and keep doing our services, and this will make us more and more Krishna consciousness, more and more Krishna conscious as the day passes by. So if someone appreciates the prasadam we get, someone appreciates the devotees we have in association with, someone appreciates the books we have, someone appreciates the holy name, if we keep appreciating this, that will make our spiritual life much and much better. Simply by appreciation, Krishna will give us better opportunity. Because we understand this fact that Krishna is the controller. So in a way, by appreciating things, we are appreciating Krishna. And by complaining, we are complaining about Krishna's system. But it is very difficult to implement. But if we somehow try to live this principle of appreciating everything that is happening around us, that will be very helpful for us to advance in our Krishna consciousness. So, as we know, Krishna's energy is Yoga Maya and Mahamaya. How the mind is receiving Krishna's energy is how it relates with us. How we are accepting, how our mind is accepting the arrangement is how, whether it will act as Yoga Maya or Mahamaya is determined for us. So in a way, our real challenge is to train our mind, train our mindset, where we try to be appreciative, as we are discussing, try to be accepting, acknowledging the way all these demons did, all these pastimes which we heard today, they are all accepting. Just imagine somebody is telling Nal Kuber and Manigriva that for 100 celestial years you will be living in a tree's body. Have we ever experienced any such tribulation in our life? No. What we are discussing are just small petty issues whole day. And then, what they said, immediately fall on the feet of Narada for asking forgiveness, and they got a wonderful opportunity to be in Braj, and Krishna delivered them. So, it is very important that we keep meditating on these pastimes and try to attain this mood what these devotees are preaching to us. And then we can try to see that every devotee is unique. Every devotee we are living with is special. If these demons are special, who have done such mistakes or offenses or whatever we say, still they were blessed by the Lord, then in that context at least we can understand that every individual we are living with today is special. No one is ordinary. As we were hearing from few classes before, Rishi Kumar Prabhu said that we don't know who is the person sitting next to us, what is the spiritual level. We don't have a checking system for that. Well, we can check for us, but at how much I am chanting seriously, how much I am sincere to read Srila Prabhupada books, how much I am sincere to do services, we can do that for sure. So that is more important. So we cannot compare ourselves with other devotees in a materialistic way, because each devotee is empowered by the Lord. Like we hear in Ramayana, the squirrel was helping Ramachandra, and Hanuman was helping Ramachandra, and many other more soldiers were helping Ramachandra. But for Lord Ramachandra, squirrel and Hanuman were same. They were equal for him, because they were both surrendered to serve the Lord, and they were doing to the best of their capacity. That is what is required. So in that case, every devotee is special, because he is doing to his capacity. He is doing according to the level of his understanding. So in case somebody sees that I am struggling, then I need support. This is the duty of the community, to assist that person. If we see that he is struggling phase, even if we feel like that, then I need support of everybody. So in that case, we can make our environment very special. If you start looking every devotee as a special person, a special empowered personality by the Lord to execute His task, everything is controlled by the Lord. Maya dakshena prakruti suyate sacharacharam. So Krishna is controlling. So Krishna is controlling him, Krishna is controlling him, Krishna is controlling him. Everybody is controlled by the Lord. So in that way, we can see and understand that whatever is getting enacted is by the arrangement of the Lord. So we have to keep practicing these principles. This is what is expected. Otherwise, we are practicing something which is taking us away from Krishna. In case I just keep complaining, oh, this devotee, he is listening class every day, but he hardly does anything in his life. I don't even see him in Mangalarti. In what way it is going to help me? Okay, if I genuinely have that mood to assist him, I should try to help him. That how can I serve you, Prabhu? How can I help you wherein we can together attend this program of Srila Prabhupada? That is a better mood to elevate my consciousness at least. Whether that is going to help the other devotee or not is not that important, but at least it will help me because I am analyzing the situation in a very positive way and trying to become the humble servant in that situation. Not that, why you are not coming? It is your duty to be coming. Have you not heard Prabhupada? It's not the way we can. I mean, maybe if somebody's authority can do it, he can choose his own way, but not otherwise. Like Srila Prabhupada was also sometimes heavy, sometimes soft, and he also said, what can I do? I am an old man, So Prabhupada was taking this position of humility always, and he was showering his love and compassion on his disciples always, and this is how this movement expanded. So, Krishna gives different skill, like some are empowered to cook, some are empowered to do kirtan, some are empowered to give classes, some are empowered to manage. So everybody is given a different skill, different empowerment by the Lord. So we cannot think that I want to do that. No, whatever Krishna has given you, just try to do that sincerely. That sincerity is required in our services. Not that trying to see that, I can do better than Sri Ram Pandit. What does he knows? He knows nothing. That is not a good mood. If Krishna has empowered a devotee for a particular service, just let him do, and if you want to do, assist him. That will change the whole environment of the community. That will help us. That is our real integrity to the society. Not that we are trying to bring big changes in the society. Just start changing with ourselves. Bring that sincerity in our own life. Try to live with that sincerity, serving whatever service is assigned to us. Like the squirrel. With our material calculation, what contribution would have in percentage if we count? We can't even put, 0.00000, maybe whatever it is. That much small percentage, but Lord Ramchandra acknowledged that. And he said, this is same, what squirrel is doing is same what Hanuman has done for me. So this is how Lord is. He is equal to all. He is not partial. Krishna is not partial. He is equal to all. So we should not be making judgment, because if we are making judgment on somebody, we are making judgment on Krishna. We are trying to judge Krishna, not anybody else. Oh, this devotee is too slow. He's now 30 years, he's doing hardly anything. We are trying to judge Krishna in that. We have to view that situation like that. So I heard from one devotee, I think I have spoken before also, that one Srila Prabhupada disciple, I forgot his name, he was like not kind of a big charismatic leader, but he was doing his things sincerely, going to Sankirtan every day. He was a grahastha, and devotees thought, what will he do? He has become grahastha now. And he's just busy with his own things. But he continued that for his whole life. And then the same person shared that now we see that how sincere that person is, and even in his whatever little endeavor he was doing to please Srila Prabhupada, he was always focusing on the instruction of Lord Chaitanya, and he continued the Yug Dharma of Sankirtan. He didn't stop that. So, Satatam, what is that? Uninterrupted. Ahetuki apratihata, uninterrupted, unmotivated. It should go on. We are not here to become kind of best among the crew. We are just here to be playing our part the way the squirrel was playing in the humble mood for the pleasure of the Lord. I think we can end it here. We can have some time for comments, questions. Comments.
Thank you for the class. Prabhu, you mentioned about the curse and blessings. Right? So my question is, how does karma plays an integral part? So let's say someone is, the karma says that he's already destined to suffer, and at the same time someone curses, and he feels that he's suffering because of the curse. But his karma is that it's already destined that he has to suffer. So karma, curse, blessing is so intermingled, it's very difficult to identify is it because of the curse or is it because of his past karma. So how do we like understand this?
It's a kind of a PhD level question asked to a neophyte. but I read one sentence in Bhagavad Gita where Prabhupada writes, it is very difficult to understand the intricacies of action. So what is happening because of what is very difficult to understand. But Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. So we try to inculcate this mood that Krishna is the cause of all causes. And that can make our life simple, less complicated, which is already enough. Just try to be accepting whatever comes, be it be curse, blessing, karma, but okay, please Krishna, take me out of this situation. Please make me more surrender to you. Please make me more of a tool in your service. I mean, you want to add something? Anybody else want to add? Yes.
Comment. So this is like my experience, whatever the last 5-6 years I've seen, because I was more of a congregation member, but after coming to Vrindavan, I had like some role in the management. So typically what you say, we say walk your talk. Right? So let's say we in a situation where we feel someone is doing wrong or something is wrong, we try our best to correct the situation, like we may escalate the situation, we may start writing emails, this, that. But ultimately, when you sit down and seriously think, first is a lot of waste of time, because if the situation wants to change, Krishna will anyways change the situation, because ultimately they are the authority. If they want to change, and as Balarāma is there in everyone's heart, until unless he doesn't give intelligence, the situation will not going to change. Plus, as I completely agree with you, during that time phase, our Krishna consciousness is dwindled. You start, because we get more into that, and then we don't focus much on our sadhana, much on what is the purpose of coming to Vrindavan, why are we here? We're not here to be politics. We are here to enhance our bhakti. This is just a comment, because certain situations we start thinking like corporate and we think the situation will change. But we are also dealing with one more important element is devotee. So things will not work the way we want, but we have to just leave it to Krishna. If he thinks the situation has to change, then it will change. That's what my personal realization is.
Very good. Yeah, like even as Prabhu mentioned, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when he was trying to teach this principle, what we are also discussing today, that the Lord values the mood of surrender and not the amount of contribution we do. So once when he was very sick and one disciple was singing for him, and he was singing very melodiously, very nice. And then Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur stopped him and he assigned some other devotee to sing. And by material calculations, he was not so sweet in his singing, but still Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur tried to bring that point that he was singing with the mood and devotion which he wanted at that time. So, and then similarly, we also hear that many times disciples will bring many nice cooked items for Bhakti Thakur, and he would accept that, but he would put salt on every item. And the message he was trying to give is that he was not attracted by the how expert we were in cooking, but he was showing that material presentations has no importance. But in general, all our analyses are on material presentation. But spirituality is all about internal analysis, internal presentation, how much we are surrendering, how much is our mood to please the devotees around us, how much is our mood of assisting the different various services. Otherwise, we will be discouraged and we lose our consciousness. We are discouraged, we are frustrated, and then we are never grateful for the services which are given to us. But otherwise it is rare, even to, like we heard, when Lakshmi ji hankers for services, right? She is trying to broom with her hair. Now, she has they don't get services so easily, but we have got so much services. And if we are not grateful for that, then it's a big gambling we are doing actually. Thank you. Yes, Prabhu.
Obviously, because all you have to do is look at Srila Prabhupada's life, any situation. Imagine his entire Bhagavad Gita manuscript, his wife gave him away. He could have thought, that means I'm not supposed to do this.
Yeah.
But that's not, devotee sees everything as an opportunity. He said it, heaven or hell, but as long as I have service. In so many situations, with the Juhu land, time and time again, you think, well, we're not meant to have this. It's too difficult. It's no question. She said, I kick the difficulties away. And you mentioned about special. I was asked that once in a class. It was Prabhupada in 26 Second Avenue. It was around 2000 or so. It was right at the Rath Yatra in New York City. And a devotee, grand disciple of Prabhupada, asked me did Prabhupada treat any of his disciples special. And he had in mind his guru. Prabhupada treated him special. And I knew it right away. And I had never been asked such a question, and I thought for a minute, and then I said, yes, all of them. Because he did. He made everyone feel special. You could go in his room and sit and talk. He would never look at his watch. When is he going to be done? How long do I have to tolerate this? He made you feel special, that you were important. Because he saw like that. It's a question of realization, a question of advancement. That's devotee. Every opportunity is an opportunity. It's all an opportunity to encourage someone in Krishna consciousness. And that's always what Prabhupada did, under any condition. He was on the ship, heart attacks. And so many times he could have seen this is too difficult. When he came to New York City, he was robbed, typewriter was taken. So many things happened one after another. But he was never discouraged. That's the devotee. He sees everything as an opportunity to try harder. And then when you do that, of course, rewards are there. You'll see Krishna gives you. Krishna gives. He reciprocates, as he said. Krishna is always reciprocating.
Thank you. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai.